give me a second. Let's run this one. Paste. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Who are you facing up middle here? Who are you facing?
Yasuo.
Oh, ooh, whew. All
Yeah,
right, all right. Let's see what we
yeah.
can see.
I was looking back over this one too, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't play a lot of mid lane, so I don't know
Oh,
Yasuo very
okay.
well.
All right.
Um, but when I started looking back at it, I realized what animation appeared when his Q was ready,
Okay, so
his
yeah,
whirlwind. So I
his
didn't catch that this game, but
okay,
when I
but
went back and looked over it, I finally saw it, and I was like, every time he goes to throw that Q, there's a big old wind thing that goes around him. So
mm-hmm. All right, so let's take a look at this one. All right, so you are the
we're
R.
red side.
Yeah, you're red
Yep.
side, and you're facing Yasuo middle. I'm gonna go over a little bit. What do you remember? What runes you used for mid lane?
Yes, I
Uh,
have I can look at it here real quick.
all right. Yeah, I should have reviewed that first before viewing the replay. I'm
That's all right.
really
I have
sorry.
two different rune pages.
Mm-hmm.
Three AP quints, the magic pin reds,
Mm-hmm.
scaling health yellows, and then scaling CDR blues.
Okay, there's a perfect page. Okay.
And then I also have
And what
versus AD. I just switched the health with armor.
armor. Okay, so that's completely fine. And the masteries is 12 and 18, right? With Thunderlord's Decree.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so all right, let's take a look at this one. You can see it fine, right? You can see the
Yeah.
you can't see the mini map though, so because the sky picture kind of blocks it. But we're gonna be
Oh, for some reason your Skype picture's on the left side.
oh oh
Yeah,
that's even
so I can
better.
see the mini map.
Oh, that's even better. All right, so let's take a look at this one. All right, so we're gonna be focusing what here. So we're gonna break it down here. All right, so first thing you want to do, of course, with the Yasuo is that you never fought Yasuo before, right? Or
I did, but it was like
it
back
was back. Okay,
a long time ago.
so when you are playing a mid, and
Hmm.
of course you want to also try to avoid his whirlwind effect or his knock-up effect, but at the same time, while you're forming minions, try to break his shield.
Hmm. Yeah, that's something I
So
did notice was
okay,
you throw an auto at him, it goes up, and then you just kind of wait a few seconds and you can throw your
yeah, you can.
abilities at him later.
So farming is completely nice here, but yeah, let's try poke him. There we go. So he breaks it down, and every time, the only way for him to regenerate that shield is he has to keep moving.
Hmm.
So that's Yasuo's passive right there. So we're gonna skim this through here. You throw a Q. You're trying to do trades. Okay, so you missed that. So he's pushing the lane. So we're gonna skim it through here. I'm gonna go a little bit more about what happens here. Alright, so I want to see. Alright, so you ran back into that one. You can
Yep.
last hit that one. You're gonna miss that one. Oh, and okay, so we're gonna talk about a little bit about farming as well. When it comes to mid lane, of course, Ahri's gonna have a very hard time with someone with a wind wall. I'm pretty sure you're aware of that
Hmm.
because he can block. Alright, so let's talk about using mana. Alright, so there's a good and bad thing how you threw this Q here. Alright, I understand how much you want to harass him, but at the same time, you gotta be focusing on the minion and how low can the minion get before it touches the tower. The very first important thing is if you can farm under the tower.
Hmm.
Because even though you may be losing in lane with like losing CS towards Yasuo, at least you're not losing by a lot. So we're gonna see here. Alright, so you use your Q here. So at this point, let's play this one. Alright, so this is a free auto. You got that one. Alright, so there you go. So let's talk about this one. You threw a Q here. So I'm going to think that these minions weren't low enough to get one shot by the tower yet. I'm pretty sure the tower hits like 180 to these minions.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you're
But
gonna
now they
miss.
are low enough to die.
So they're low enough to die. So you missed a lot there because you threw a Q towards
Okay.
the minions. So you want to try to avoid that. You want to try say also saving your mana. I'm gonna give a better example as the game continues. We're gonna see here one. All right, so we're gonna skim a little bit forward here. All right, so that's good CS. All right, so you're gonna throw a Q. All right, so you got that one. We're gonna skim through this one. Alright, so I want to talk about this one as well. Let's talk about, okay, so you had your charm. Now we're going to talk about trading potential. We're going to see opportunities. Who's open? Okay, well, if he's open as an open target. I want to go through
Hmm.
here. Alright, so we're going to slow this down a bit. Alright, so you're going to get this one. Your Q's up. 2, 1. Alright, so what do you see here? What do you see?
He's in front of the
In
minions.
front of the minions, and I'm pretty sure his reaction is it. Yeah, and he just hit level 3, so most likely he's gonna be at this level he's gonna be slow on leveling up his spells. So and his reaction is so slow. So we're gonna look for opportunities. What do you see here?
A charm
A charm, and follow up by
by a Q.
a Q.
And
Now,
then I think I have W2 here.
uh, you just
I can't
leveled up.
remember.
You
I
just
did Q
leveled up.
again? Okay.
Okay, so you had your queue up, but we're talking about looking for opportunities to trade your opponent to whittle him down.
Hmm.
Because if you bully Yasuo early, he's gonna be afraid to dash to his minions, to dash to your minions, without his win wall. So
Okay.
when you find an opportunity to charm your opponent, throw it, followed up by a Q. So so you can trade because he can't do anything while he's taunted.
Hmm.
All right, so yeah, so we're gonna take a look at that. All right, so of course he knocked you up here. We're gonna skim through this one. Right, right there you go. Oh, okay, so you missed it. All right, so we're gonna skim through this one. I want to skip into laning. All right, so I want to talk about this one as well. When you are below maybe 40% of your mana, don't spam your Q.
Okay.
Focus more on not last hitting, but you can focus on, yes, like killing the minion, but as well as try to push your lane by auto attacking, not using your spells, because you just don't know when you need that charm up for a potential kill.
All right.
Because a lot of us likes farming with our spells, especially when early game, but the problem is that we don't have infinite mana.
Hmm.
So that's why we gotta be careful. Spamming these spells can get us super low, where Yasuo is just gonna. If Yasuo was very low HP, like maybe he was at 300, but you had zero mana, he can beat you regardless because
Just because
you have no mana,
I have no mana. Yeah.
and he is not mana champion.
Hmm.
So, all right, so we're gonna skim through this one. Whoops, where are you? All right, so. Alright, so you're gonna use your Q here. Alright, so you got that CS. Alright, so first thing I want to talk about is mana management. Oh, I should actually put the red side. Okay, so also we're gonna talk about this one. As you're being pushed back, it's fine. You don't. We're gonna talk about warding as well. The only time you ward is when you're usually pushed up. Alright,
Hmm.
so whenever you're pushed up, you're always gonna drop a ward. When it hits the 4 minute mark, you want to ward one of the sides. The
Okay.
4 minute mark is usually when the jungler's already done getting their buffs and they want a potential gank. So also keep that in mind.
All right.
Uh, oops, all right, so we're gonna skim through this one. All right, so you use this windmill. Let's see here. So yeah, the very first thing here is mana management. You see how much mana you have?
Yeah.
All
It's
right,
very low.
Alright, so and I want to talk about this one as well. Okay, so this is called predicting. We're gonna predict here. Alright,
Hmm.
so the moment Yasuo has his knock up. Alright, so we're gonna take a look at this one. Pretend I'm playing you. Alright, so your last hitting. There you go. This is okay. This is where I want you to focus on reaction timing. So he used it. What did you just do?
I walked right into it.
Well, you didn't walk right to it. You mostly stayed still.
Hmm.
It's not okay. Yasuo's knockup has a very like small hitbox. It's very easy to dodge it.
Okay.
So it's just move a little bit to the left or right. Never move straight back. That's what a lot of people have been doing, especially in lower elos when they're facing a Blitzcrank, Nautilus Hook, a Mumu, or Yasuo Q. Is people tend to run straight back. But as you see, when you want to become better, people run like in a zigzag way to confuse the opponent.
Hmm.
So I want you to do that. So every time you see Yasuo or a Blitzcrank coming at you, just move to the left or move to the right.
All right.
It's yeah. So yeah, you have to get used to it. So here you ate that one. All right. So I want to talk about this one as well. There you go. What do you see here as well?
Charm. If I had, I don't know if I have
Okay,
the
no,
mana.
no, no. See, okay, so we're gonna talk about how. Imagine if you had 50% mana.
Yeah.
How much more could you trade with this guy if you taunted him to the tower? You see how far he dashed up? We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
look at these things where we look for opportunities. You see a potential, you see a charm opportunity, you take that charm, you use your W, use your Q. Most likely he'll be put below 40% of his HP.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I want you to learn how to control your mana, how to control using your spells. Is it best to use my spell at this point, or is it just best to auto attack and save my mana? So yeah, so here, see you see how he's just casually walking back because he had no mana.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I want you to. So yeah, first things first is mana management. So we're gonna. Whoops. All right. So okay. So you're completely out of mana. So this is a very. All right. See you see how you walk straight back.
Yeah.
So you just ate another Q. So all right. So that's really bad. So we're gonna focus on that one. All right. So you're gonna get that one. Now you're just trying to basic attack. All right. So you ate another one. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you got that one. All right. Ah, see, okay. So let's jump back
Yeah, that
again.
was really bad.
Oh, those are free minions. See,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like you once when I first played League. Whenever I had the mana, I would just throw out my spells. You know, I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
we get that feeling, but also you have to look at these. These are the minions where a tower hits it once, you can last hit them.
Yeah.
Whenever a minion is full HP, you just want to hit them once. The tower hits the minion, and you hit it again, and it'll be your gold.
Okay.
Because when we play AP mid laners, we're not physical damage. You know, we don't build our auto attack damage. We use
Mm-hmm.
spells. So yeah, I want you to also focus that as well. All right, so that's a free last hit for you. Let's see if you got that one. Yes, you did. The tower's gonna take that, but you didn't have enough attack damage. All right, so yeah, see, you see how when you threw a Q, the tower is just
Mm-hmm.
gonna one
It
hit.
just killed it.
It just kills it. So all right, so you're completely out of mana, and you're
Mm-hmm.
super low. So all right, so you're gonna place a ward here. That's fine. That's correct. That's a good ward. Since it's 5 minutes in, but you are being pushed, so most likely you're not vulnerable. Um, Oops, why did I keep pressing one? Alright, so we're gonna skim through it. Alright, same thing again, you saw that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Alright, so at least we learned something from there. Alright, so... Oh
Like
my
I
god.
kept wanting to back, but every time I would try and go back,
Okay,
then he would shove the wave again.
okay, so let's talk about going back at a better opportunity. Alright, so let's take a
Okay.
look at your gold. Let's take it. Okay, so you have 1,000 gold. Most likely, if you're losing in lane and you have a problem with mana regeneration, and of course you're facing an AD mid laner, most of the time you want to build like Seeker's Arm Guard because it provides armor.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest problem with building Seeker's Arm Guard as well is that you need to build a mana regeneration item as you're staying in mid lane. You know, you're a constant mid laner, you're staying there, you know that you're facing a mid laner who doesn't use mana, and you're like talking to yourself, man, how am I going to keep up with my mana if my jungler doesn't give me blue buff? So the only time I go back, even though I'm being pushed, is this. The moment you see the cannon minion and you're being pushed up by the cannon minion, you stay there. You get the cannon minion. Once you get the cannon minion, just back.
Okay.
So once the cannon minion is gone, you don't want to back while the cannon minion is still in lane. Back after or before the cannon minion reaches the lane.
All right.
So this is your highest priority right now is to get the cannon minion, and at this point we're gonna see what you build from this point. Oops. All right, so we're gonna skim through this one because no matter what is when you get the cannon minion here, we're gonna look at this one. All right, so you missed it. All
Yeah.
right, so you missed it. Okay, at this point, just go back.
All right.
I understand how much minions we're gonna lose from this. We're gonna just lose like 6 minions. But the best thing is though is it worth losing 6 minions? At least I come back with full health and items.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's completely worth, but it's better than staying in lane without
And
mana.
dying.
And
Yeah.
dying, yeah, and dying because you have nothing to help yourself with. So yeah, all right. So we're gonna skim through this one. Because you're already struggling in CSing because you don't even have mana to help you CS. And you
Mm-hmm.
see how he's pressuring you to stay in lane? Yes, he's doing a great job. He's saying, I'm keeping this mid laner here. Because because Ahri doesn't want to miss CS. See, because Yasuo knows that if I keep pushing, Ahri's not going to go back. But be the better player, just go back when you need to, when you have nothing.
Okay.
And also the greatest thing about backing is that even though you miss CS, you're gonna have mana for the next fight. Imagine if Warwick wants to gank.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if Warwick ganks now. What more can you do here,
I've
right?
got nothing.
You got nothing. Compared if you back, miss couple CS, come back, and your jungle ganks for you, and you get a kill because you have your mana. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So this is Alright, so he uses ulti on you, and you decide to stay. This is a very dangerous zone here.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is very scary. There you go. There you go. Last hit. No, you see how you wanted to back, but
Mm-hmm.
guess what's here?
He kept the cannon
The
minion.
cannon minion. So you don't want to back, but imagine if you backed earlier. See?
Then I'd be
So
back
then
with.
you be back with full
Mhm.
health, and you're ready to get that next set of cannon. So, all right. I'm gonna skim through this one. Also, I want to talk about this one as well. You see how many minions you missed? Like,
Mhm.
okay, it's 8 minutes in. You're supposed to. Okay, I understand from your elo is that a lot of people will miss minions. That's completely fine. You see how much Yasuo's been shoving your lane, but you're over his CS,
Yeah.
and look how much you missed compared to him. I'm pretty sure if you look at the score and you're saying he's missing as much as I am, I can freely go back. He's not gonna be ahead anytime soon. Take the opportunity.
All right.
All right. So also just pay attention with the CS. It's very important. 15 to 18 CS equals a kill. So if you're like, for example, if his farm is 35 and he had 60 CS, it's like you had a kill and a half ahead of him, more than him.
Mhm.
So always remember that. So CSing is very important, especially in the early phases. Um, oh my god. Oh my god, he's forcing you to stay in lane. So that's
Yep.
the first thing I want you to realize on this one. Alright?
Yeah, and
Alright.
then I'm dead.
Alright, let's take a look. Let's take a look on what happened here, alright? So I
Mm.
want you to go over this with me. So that's completely fine. Alright, so here, I wanna stay okay, I'm gonna just pretend I'm in your shoes right now. I'm gonna tell you what I would have done, alright? So I never went back. I'm playing a risky game. Alright, so he does have his knockup up. Like I said, there you go. You see how you went closer,
Mhm.
just trying to hit a minion. So we're gonna here. I want to slow this down a bit. We're gonna get his knockup up. All right. So this is the one. The Yasuo was smart enough to do this. Is that all right? So you wanted to last hit this minion right here.
Mhm.
All right. So you see how close you're getting to him. All right. So you move. You decide to move up close here. There we go. You see that one? You're moving up close with his
Mhm.
knock up. Two things Yasuo can do. He can dash to a minion and dash to you and knock you up, or of course throw his Q. And of course, I understand you're not aware of sidestepping, and you did run into it. So you're gonna get ulted here. All right, and then and it's you both burn flash. All right, so you both burn flash, and he got a kill. Now think about it. Do you think he would have gotten a kill if you backed?
No.
No. So that's why I want you to do is mana management and learn to back at the proper time. So
All
those are the
right.
two things I want to understand, and as well is that don't forget to ward. So at this lane you did buy okay, so you bought Seeker's Arm Guard and two Doran's Ring. That's completely fine. That's a great. That's why I have a. That's what I would have done as well. So that's a fine build. I'm gonna skim through this one. All right. So you got your items, and of course, Yasuo got his static shiv. Alright, so, and we're gonna also talk about communication. Alright, so what do you think, what can Warwick do? Okay, so you look at Warwick, what level is he?
He is 6,
All right.
so
So
he's got his ultimate.
so he has his ultimate. And does Yasuo have flash?
No.
He used it. Now this is the part where communication comes by. He's saying, Yasuo, Warwick, Yasuo doesn't have flash. This is an easy kill mid lane
Hmm.
because you have to also understand what can. Does Yasuo have any mobility to run?
No, not unless he's dashing through our minions.
Yes, dashing to your minions. He can, of course, dash through his minions. So the only way he could actually protect himself is if maybe he would win wall your charm. But
Hmm.
if I see this, if I was in your position, all right, I died to mid lane, but both of us blue flash. But I have an ultimate where I can dash 3 times.
Hmm.
If Warwick comes gank middle, and while he's being stunned, I can throw a charm, throw my combos before he can win wall, or maybe dodge the win wall and throw another way around it. I could get a kill. That's why when it comes to this one, always try to communicate with your jungler. Not 100% of the time the jungler will communicate with you, at least you're giving him information. Because did you ever talk to your jungler at all in this game?
I pinged a couple of
Okay,
times, but
okay. Yeah, okay, pinging is fine.
hmm
Pinging is fine. You're like pinging, okay, I want to kill Yasuo, but the problem is that Warwick doesn't know if he has flash or he has any of his summer spells. Most likely because your jungler doesn't know because you're not giving him information.
hmm
So next time if that happens, just tell him or just put in chat when you say mid flash.
all
So
right.
everybody will know, okay, middle doesn't have its flash. So that's why I want you to always build your communication around your team because remember, this is a team game. This is not 1 versus 5. So,
Hmm.
all right. So work guys, red. All right. So we're gonna take a look at this one. You're gonna ward here. You're playing super safe. That's completely fine. All right. All right. So he has this knock up. All right. There you go. You ate it
Walked right
again.
into it
You
again.
walk, you walk right into it again. All right. So, all right. So you're gonna hit it. All right. Then let the tower hit it. You're gonna hit it. There you go. All right. There you go. Good poke. Alright, so he has this knock up again. Alright, so you walk back. But okay, now let's take a look at this. Even though he got knocked up, look at his HP.
Hmm.
Alright,
He's
so
below half.
he's below half. Did you know at this point you could have killed him? Alright, now we're gonna talk about damage and how underestimating the opponent. Alright, so let's take a look at Yasuo. Does he have any magic resist?
Barely any.
Barely. Okay. This is 30 magic resist is your basic like your flat magic resist at early levels unless you
Hmm.
got magic runes. So he doesn't have anything. Does he have a hex drinker? No, he has just a straight up static shift. Does he have flash? Of course not. Do I have ignite?
Yes.
Yes, because you didn't use it and he already used his summoner spells. So looking at half HP, you can do something about this. And remember, you can dash 3 times within 12 seconds. So you can actually dance around his wind wall. But the
Hmm.
first thing is when it comes to mind, can I bait out his wind wall before I commit?
Okay.
So that's why at this point here, if you can throw maybe auto attacks or look for an opening, don't throw all your skills yet. Try to bait that wind wall first. Or, for example, here, you can also call Warwick to
Hmm.
gank for you. All right, so we're gonna take a look here. But I'm just looking at it before anything happens.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, all right. So, look in this one. I see a ping middle. All right, you're gonna farm. Okay, he's completely open. This is a free. All right. So let's see here. I'm pretty sure this is a kill. All right. Very nice. There you go. All right. So let's talk about this one. Now, imagine if Warwick didn't come in. Do you think you could have killed him alone?
Probably still could have because
Yes.
that Q chunked a ton of damage without even doing the true damage on the way back.
And also you had
Ignite.
Ignite. So, okay. So what gave you a hope here is that you had Warwick to assist you. But
Hmm.
sometimes we also, like I said, every time I stream and then every time I talk to when I play mid lane, when I do coaching in mid lane, or when I play mid lane myself, I always tell everyone be 2 steps ahead of yourself. Think about it. Okay, Yasuo's half HP. What am I gonna do? Can I kill him? Does he have flash? No. Does he have ignite? No. Do I have my ultimate? Yes. Do I have ignite? Yes. Okay, so what am I gonna do? If I dash here, is he gonna win wall? Can I catch him before win wall, or can I bait how his win wall? You see how a lot of questions come into your head?
Mm-hmm.
When you're a beginner, of course, those things are coming to your head. But as you become a better player, it's just muscle memory. You don't even think, you just do it. Alright? So that's why I
Okay.
want you to learn from this one. You gained confidence because Warwick came middle, but also try to think, what happens if my jungler wasn't there? Will I miss this opportunity for a kill? Maybe because nobody was there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so this was a so this was a gank for you. So you got the farm here. All right, so let's talk about this one. Let's talk about wave control. All right, so here. All right, so let's talk about this one. All right, so you're backing off. All right, so this is the biggest problem with this. You just killed mid lane. What
Mm-hmm.
are you doing?
I actually, here in a few seconds, I
Uh,
saw the cannon minion, so I went and shoved it to the
Okay.
tower.
All right, so that's good. So just remember, every time you kill your mid laner, always push the wave before backing.
Okay.
Because the greatest thing is this. Imagine if you went back. Okay, regardless there was no cannon minion. You know, this was just those 6 minions without cannon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you would have back. Since you told me you just came back for a cannon minion. So
Yeah.
let's talk about it. Imagine if the cannon minion wasn't here. The reason why I tell everyone always push the lane if the mid laner's gone or the mid laner's dead. Why? Is if you don't, the minions will be frozen here, and by the time the mid laner responds, he can get back to mid lane without missing any CS.
Okay.
But if you push the lane, look how much CS he's gonna miss.
He misses
All,
5
he
there.
misses
Or
five.
6. He's missing all 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's missing all 6 because he's still dead, and the moment he responds, he's still running back to mid lane. And
Mm-hmm.
the greatest thing is that when you push him into the tower, it'll reset the lane
Mm-hmm.
because the moment they all get killed here, your minions will just meet back here. So always push the lane. Just always tell yourself, all right, killed my mid laner, let's push the lane,
Okay.
and then back off. But of course, if you're like 200 HP, you don't want to get ganked, then just back off. Be the better person, just back off. Don't be greedy. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, so, all right, so, um, pushing the wave here. Let's see. All right, so you got Sork shoes. Wait, you said you had cooldown reduction per levels, correct?
Actually, I forgot to put it on this page. I
Okay, okay,
had the page, but I didn't use it
okay,
this
but
time.
you no, you had the armor though,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Okay, so that's fine. All right, so all right, so I want to talk a little bit about. I'll get into runes after the match. All right,
Okay.
so I'll help you out on that as well. There's a lot of things to know about mid lane. All right, so let's see here. So you're balancing the lane here. Let's see. All right, so you poke, you got a shield out. All right, so we're gonna see here. Oh, wow, you almost got hit. All right, so you're gonna throw a Q. You're gonna miss here. All right, so let's see about Cannon Minion. Alright, so his flash is up because your flash is about to be up since you both flashed almost at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright. Good, you didn't let the cannon minion get killed by tower. Alright, so you poked that. Alright, so you're a little bit low here. Alright, so you traded with him. Now I wanna also talk about Thunderlords, alright? So how do you proc Thunderlords?
3 hits.
3 hits from abilities or auto.
Yep.
When I play Ahri or when I see people play Ahri, they do this one. I want to talk about this one. Alright, so we're gonna slow it down here. Alright, so you auto attack him, but the problem with Thunderlords is you have to hit them 3 times under 3 seconds or it'll
Mm-hmm.
reset. So yeah, just to get you, just to tell you that. Alright, there you go. Let's see. 1, 2. Alright, so you know what majority of the Ahris do if they hit them twice?
Go back in for an auto.
Auto. Because your Thunderlords has a cooldown of 15 to 25 seconds depending on level.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, you want to try to maximize it as much when it's off cooldown. So always remember that. If I hit Yasuo 2 times with my Q back and forth, just land one more auto to proc that Thunderlords for more poke. Alright?
Okay.
So also remember that. Alright, so we're gonna... Alright, so we're... Ooh. Alright, so let's take a look at this one.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so let's get this one. I wanna go here. Alright. All right, so there. That was super obvious.
Mm-hmm.
That was super obvious. All right, so I understand that you want to go an all in on Yasuo, but your first dash made things obvious. Like I said, when you're facing against Yasuo, always try to bait out the windshield before anything,
Okay.
before using your ultimate, because right now your ultimate's going to be down. There you go. He blocked your charm, and of course you can't do anything here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see if you. All right. So you dash, you throw a Q, you dash again. All right. So you pop this windshield. Throw a Q. There you go. Back. Okay. So let's talk about this one. Have you ever done something called the charm flash?
I've tried it, but I've never like been great at landing it.
Okay. 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 All right. So. All right. That's fine. Okay. So. All right. So you see something happening here. Alright, alright, I want to see what happened here. That was a very good roam. Alright, so let's talk about what happened mid lane after you use your ultimate. Alright, so mid lane went missing, you won it back, but then you spotted Warwick trying to fight Nocturne. You
Mm-hmm.
decided to go down, help him out. You found Yasuo. That was a very nice roam. Spot on right here. Alright. Aw, I wish he didn't back. Okay, so let's talk about this one. Alright, we're gonna slow this down a bit. We're gonna slow this down. Look at this one. Alright, so you got Nocturne with your Q.
Mm-hmm.
You got Yasuo with the thing. Alright. What spell did you not use?
W.
W. And you also had
Ignite.
Ignite. Do you think that's a potential double kill right
Oh,
there?
it could have been a double
Of
kill.
course, yeah. But it sucks. And then look, your Thunderlords as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is a double kill right there. But see, okay, now when we're talking about Ahri, I understand you want to keep your distance against melee because you know you're a range. But at the same time, you got to ask yourself, all right, are they lower than me? Are they scared of me?
Mm-hmm.
Both of them were yes. Of course, but the problem is that you tried to keep too much of a distance, and also you forgot to press W.
W.
W,
Mm-hmm.
alright? So, alright, so that's completely fine. Alright, so you're gonna back off here. Let's see. Alright, so your next item, I believe, is Morello's, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
I
so you're
think
gonna.
pretty sure it is.
Okay. The only time I usually finish Zonius is if I'm facing against like Zed, because you know how he
I
ultis you.
hate Zed.
Everybody, a lot of people hate Zed. And remember, when Zed ultis you,
You can charm behind yourself and get him.
yes, there you go. Now you're thinking, yeah, yes. All right,
Hmm.
because a lot of people tend to like panic charm when Zed ultis.
Yep,
No, you also,
that's
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Very
that's
bad.
bad. So, all right, so let's take a look at this one. So you popped it right here. You're playing far better now. You're learning. All right, so, um, all right, so you're gonna pressure in mid lane. Alright, so at this point, I forgot to say it, when you're level 11, or you're level 9 as well, is that do not forget to buy the blue
The
trinket.
blue trinket.
Yeah, blue trinket. Always blue trinket, because yellow trinket is usually more of early game, but the red and blue trinket more of late game. So
Yeah,
never forget.
I don't know
Mhm.
what. I guess it's just kind of not being in bot lane, but I forget a lot of mechanics when I'm not playing like Lucian or Ezreal or something like that.
I understand they're two different lanes. Like when I first played League, I mained AD carry. Around after 1 or 2 years playing, I mained top, and then I went to middle. And I
Hmm.
always made the worst thing about middle is that you have to make sure you go equal with your lane, because the biggest thing about mid laners I told you is that once you're fighting in the middle has is the most vulnerable to ganks. You can
You can
get
get
ganked
ganked
here,
from the
and
yeah.
anywhere, literally anywhere. So that's why mid lane is in a very important role. Not just that, it has map control as well. So, all right, so we're gonna see here. All right, where it got dragon. Now your teammates is coming middle. Oh,
It's froze.
oh,
Skype's froze.
oh, it did.
Hmm.
Uh, really?
It's yeah, it's fuzzy and not moving.
Oh, okay. So, let me actually stop sharing screen and actually refresh it. Hopefully it'll work. Share screen. Uh, is it working for you?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, we're good. You can see it?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so it looks like they're taking Scuttle here. All right. All right. I also want to state this, even though your mid laner has summoner spells, always keep communication with a jungler with CC. Vi, Warwick, those two, you can tell yourself, we can always kill mid laner if your ultimate's up. That's why I want you to always have communication with your team. Of course, we can always rage, we can always feed, we can always make mistakes, but remember, this is a team game.
Hmm.
So always communicate with your jungler. Hey, Yasuo's really squishy. You
All
know,
right.
Yasuo's really squishy, Warwick. If you come in ulti mid lane, I can follow up with a charm and we can burst him down.
Hmm.
So I want you to do that as well because Warwick hasn't been going to middle lane, not just because he wants to focus on getting his sated stacks and gank other lanes, but also it can be that the mid laner is not communicating with the jungler. If
Okay.
the some junglers actually make it, some junglers will actually tell you, okay, Ari, tell me when Yasuo's stuff is down. There's some junglers that communicate to the other laners as well, but majority of the time, be that person to communicate with your team.
All right.
All right, so not just pinging, typing works as well because if you ping, that can mean anything. So that's why. All right, so you pop the shield. We're gonna go. All right, so he ate that one.
Hmm.
All right, so we're gonna talk about this one. Nocturne just ulted. All right, Wasagi. All right, so you're gonna push the lane back with, I believe, with a Q. Okay, you're just last sitting here. You're trying to freeze the lane. We're gonna skim through it. All right, there you go. All right, so Yasuo is missing. You're wanting to get blue buff. Okay, so you're ganking bottom. All right, so let's talk about. All right, so. All right. Okay, so let's talk about this one. All right, I want to see here. All right, so you're gonna dash here. You're gonna get stunned. All right, so he throws a shield. All right, so
I
that
have
was
quick cast on, so I was moving my mouse.
yeah, but that was
Yeah,
very sloppy. Okay,
it was really bad.
it was okay. So your biggest punishment is, of course, this one, but you
Hmm.
did get 2 kills at bot lane. So your bot lane is failing at the moment, and mid lane's pushing. You don't have any summoner spell. Okay, all right. So let's talk about this one. What item are you actually getting first?
Um, I was going for Zonia's.
Okay, Zonius. Okay, that's fine. All right, so we're gonna talk about this one. All right, so all right, I want to talk about this one. We just missed another opportunity here. All right. What do I see here?
Charm.
Did you throw it?
No.
Why?
Good question.
See, this is what I love about replays. We can always look at our mistakes. We can always come through. Because, for example, all right. 18 minutes. Okay, 18:36. So I wanna skip back here. This is like 15 seconds. All right. So, all right. So we're gonna skip back here. All right. The moment I want to talk about this one. The moment the ghouls start attacking you, you have to also tell yourself it's gonna focus Yorick
Hmm.
because that's his minion. So, alright? So, but the bad thing you did here was it's like you were scared of the ghouls. You see how you auto attack him and you ran back?
Yeah.
You just ran back. You didn't even
Didn't feel
try
my.
to you didn't
Yeah.
even commit. So, at this point here, there you go. You missed a charm opportunity here. Alright, so and of course, Warwick could have ulted him under the tower. Right, so you killed the thing here. You see how you missed an opportunity there? It can
Hmm.
actually change things. Remember, when you're playing when you're playing League and you find those opportunities, don't let it go because it can open something. No matter if you're losing early game, if you catch someone, you win. You can
Okay.
win fights because you're playing Ahri. You're playing that. You're playing a long-range charm for a reason. You're playing that taunt for a reason. You have to play Ahri to its full potential. So
Okay.
you're missing that. You're missing that. So I want you to see. Yeah, I want you to tell yourself, all right, Yorick was taking tower. I could have charmed him there,
Mm-hmm.
but I let him go. So you missed out on an opportunity. That's why. All right, so we're gonna skim through this one. Um, charm. There you go. There you go. There you go. That was good. All right, so let me take a look at that. So your ultimate's up. All right, so she landed a good charm. You're gonna follow up by. All right, so you're gonna follow up by charming Yasuo since he did walk in front of. Then you danced around his wind wall, and all right, so you killed him right there. That was really good. Okay, I wanna rewind this. Huh? This is okay. All right, let me review this. I was like, hmm.
This is the cluster that is known as bronze.
Yeah. Oh no, no, no. It's okay. No, what you did was good and bad. I mean, okay. I like what you did here. This is something. How you used Flash to charm a Yorick.
Mm-hmm.
This is something. I wanna. That's why I wanna slow it down and take a look at this one. All right. So you did char. Okay. So you Flash just to charm a Yorick. Okay. So we're gonna talk about this. Let me see if. Hopefully Yorick dies here. Was it worth it? Yes, okay, so he dies. Alright, and then of course you're gonna survive. Huh, okay. I'm not alright. I'm not gonna say that's worth or not because he did blow flash for that, but that was something new. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't I haven't seen a bronze do that. That's why I was like, that's amazing at the same time confusing. Just to block a shield. So I'll give props to that. So right now you're 5-1. You're super fed. So it looks like here you're gonna build a Morello Nomicon because of mana regeneration. Because the problem with Ahri is that you're gonna be using a lot of your spells and you want to maximize on cooldown. So, all right. So with your if so right now you're gonna have 20% cooldown reduction once you finish that. Oh, you already have 20% cooldown reduction. All right. So, all right. Ooh, nice charm. All right. So it's blocked by a wind wall. So you're gonna push the lane here. All right. So we're gonna talk a little bit about this one. All right. Your ultimate was up.
Mm-hmm. Good dash away.
You could have dashed away, but okay. Now a smarter Yasuo. This is the biggest. This is the thing I want to capitalize as well. All right. There you go. You got hit by the trap
Mm-hmm.
because I think okay. Now we're gonna talk about this one. Tunnel visioning,
Mm-hmm.
or tunneling your opponent. I'm pretty sure you weren't looking at this. You were looking at your opponent.
I thought I stepped over it, but I think I might have canceled my attack to kind of step forward, or my movement to step forward.
Mm-hmm. All right. So after that, you got knocked up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a good Yasuo
It's an
could have
ult.
ulti right there. Of course, he didn't. So, what could have you done here?
Charm.
Maybe charm or
Or
ulti away, getting
mm-hmm.
yourself out of that situation. So you got slowed here, got ignited. Alright, so... And then, of course, you got punished by a Jinx ulti and a Nocturne ulti. Alright. Alright, so I want to talk about this one. Okay. You see how valuable your death was?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you're still alive. Do you think they could have pushed towards?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. That's why we're trying to avoid as much deaths as possible and be the smarter person.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, if my team backs off, I have to back off as well. I don't want to make those greedy plays. So that's why I want to tell you that when you're mid lane and you die, your opponents have so much advantage over your team because
Hmm.
there's not much of a because if you see right now, okay, Ezreal may be the highest threat right now, but is he with you guys?
No,
He's not. Are you?
he's
Yeah, he's still farming bottom. And look at you. When you're dead, is there anybody here that can kind of push them back?
no, not really.
Not really. So that's why I want to take a look at here. Work is barely fed, Nasus is barely fed, and of course Lux is the support.
Hmm.
Who's building AP though, so alright, so we're gonna take a look at this one. Alright, so alright, so that's just died. And he does as well. Alright, so we're gonna take a look at this one. Do they push your second tower? Yes they do. Because you see how much a death could possibly push your teammates behind.
Hmm.
That's why you have to be the better person. Alright, so let's see what you do here. Alright, so you have your Zanyas, so alright, so we're gonna skim through this one. Alright. Alright, so you just okay, alright, I wanna talk about this one as well. Alright, so I want you to answer this for me so I can get a so I know what you were doing here. Why did you roam top? Alright, so we're gonna take a look at this one. Alright, so you saw Yorick and the moment he disappeared, why did you go top?
I guess my thought process at the
Hmm.
time was I thought I'd saw the ADC bot lane, um, and then I don't know. I just was like,
Okay.
let's get the tower.
Alright, so let's alright, so let's talk about this one. You are an Ahri, and of course you want to make catches. Also as well as what do you have? A Nasus.
Hmm.
And Nasus can get stronger if he farms. Now you have to talk to yourself. It's not bad going top lane if the first tier tower was still there.
Hmm.
But the question is the opponent's first tier tower still at mid lane?
Yep.
You always want to stay mid lane until that tower is broken. Of course, no, no, no. I'm not saying you stay mid lane 100% of the time.
Hmm.
You want to of course roam, but at the same time you want to try to get the first tier towers, which is your objectives. You want to get your objectives first so we can give not just you but your team gold. All right? This
Yeah.
is why this is 150 gold not just for you but all your teammates as well. It will
Hmm.
help them finish their items. It can help you guys, team fight and of course have a better advantage over your opponents. Because roaming down here, I want to talk about this one is the moment you were here and you were pushing, what was happening here?
Yasuo was mid, and
Okay, Yasuo was middle, Lux was middle, Ezreal was middle, and they were doing dragon. Do you think you can help Warwick with the dragon?
yeah.
There you go. Because this is also another objectives. You
Hmm.
don't want to always give the opponent dragon. Because if you look at top lane, Nasus could have pushed it itself, and you guys could have controlled dragon. And maybe get a catch from here. You can
Hmm.
charm, you can get something out of here because all of your teammates were mid lane.
Mid lane.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So here. Alright, so you got the tower here. We're gonna talk about this one. Alright, so you got tower. So your job is not to go top lane anymore. You need to capitalize on getting your mid lane. This is your objective right now. When you're playing mid lane, try to grab control of the mid lane tower. Now I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so for example, this one. You stayed mid lane and Yasuo stayed mid lane because your tower was up and his tower's up. You see how long you stayed mid lane fighting, right?
Hmm.
Now pretend Yasuo was dead and your teammate came to you and you took down this tower. What do you think you would have done once you taken this tower?
Well, push the lane, and then I could roam bot
There
to
you
get the
go.
ADC fed.
There you go. Because I tell people when you're playing mid lane, don't try to leave your lane until your opponent's tower is down. Why? Is because the moment you break your mid laner's tower, it opens up opportunities. It opens more things to do on the map. All right.
Becomes yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, okay, I took down Yasuo's tower. Where'd I go now? Oh my god, bot lane tower's still up. Can I push it with the AD carry? Can we get this objective as well? Yes, we can. Because I want to talk to you about this one. If your tower was up and Yasuo's tower was down, Yasuo has two choices. Either push the lane and force you to come back middle, or you go bot lane, help the AD carry out by pushing this lane, and Yasuo is forced to help bot lane as well.
Hmm.
See, it brings a lot of things to the map. It brings a lot of things. So that's why I want to tell you that try to focus on getting the mid lane tower first before anything else. All right?
Okay.
So, all right, so oh, what happened here? All right, so let's take a look here. All right. So you got top tower,
S-
and now you're going mid lane.
Saw
Now,
Jinx and then Braum and I don't remember who else was there. Came out of nowhere because I didn't have wards.
all right. So yeah, that's why I was about to rewind it. I'm gonna come here. There you go. What's the first thing you see? Is there any words on the map?
No,
No vision. Okay.
no
So
vision.
and now this is something called tunnel visioning already. What do you see?
Jinx.
Now, imagine if just imagine. Imagine if Nocturne was here. Imagine if Yorick was here. Imagine Yasuo here.
Hmm.
Yasuo was top lane. We saw that. But imagine if they are all three here. You see how? There you go. Look at that. And who appeared?
Braum and
And
then Nocturne.
Nocturne. See? All right. I want to go back. All right. So we're gonna look how delayed this was. We're gonna we're gonna take a look at this one here. We're gonna rewind it here. All right. So first things first. You saw Jinx.
Hmm.
Now we're gonna slow it down to 0.25. We're gonna see this one out. You saw Braum.
Yep.
You saw Braum, but the problem is, to me, you're okay. I'm gonna look at your vision right now. You're like that. This is literally you. You're doing this one. Hey, there's no one there. There's no one there. What are you doing? See how that one? There you go.
Hmm.
Because you were
Tunneled on
on
Jinx.
Jinx. You didn't see everyone else on the map. You were completely tunneled with Jinx like that. Completely like this. Nothing else. This is why we're gonna learn that. This is why we're learning how tunnel vision can actually throw games
Hmm.
because it gets you caught. So we're gonna take a look at this one. And what's the sad thing is that who tried assisting you?
Nasus.
Now we're gonna talk about this one. All right. So now you see how your tunnel vision got you killed, but
It
it
also
got
got Nasus
this
killed
kill.
too.
Now, it can be Nasus's fault as well for following up on such a horrible engage, but at the
Hmm.
same time, who brought the engage?
It's my fault.
Yeah, okay. But if you were the Nasus, you know what I would have told the Nasus? Why did you follow the Ahri?
Hmm.
See? Now, it can be two minds, but at the same time, like I said, be the better teammate.
Yep.
Nasus could have survived if he didn't go. Nasus was just trying to assist you.
Hmm.
Alright, so we're gonna skim through this one. Alright, so you're dead for another how long? Alright, so you're up. There you go, that's a potential kill. Good catch. Throw Q. Oh, okay. Let's talk about this one as well. Alright. Alright. Look how close you are. Alright?
Hmm.
I understand how much you want to commit, but look at this one. Okay, so you got your charm off. Look how close that is. You see that one?
Yeah, it's way
That's
too close.
way too close. So Gotch, not you, but also Lux killed as well. There you go. Alright, so at least you learned something for that. Warwick should win this one. There you go.
And then he gets hit by a Braum Q.
Yeah, okay, Braum flash for it. So
Hmm.
alright, so let's skip. Alright, so we're gonna look at you. Alright. Ah, I forgot to point this one as well. I completely forgot this one here.
Hmm.
Now this fight. Want to skim through this one? Alright, here. We're going to talk about this one. Alright, so we're going to go through. You threw your W, alright? So you threw a charm on this one. You threw a charm. You're way too close. Where's your Zanyas?
Oh, I totally forgot about Zanya's.
Now let's talk about this one. Okay. You built Zanyas. This is your very first completed item this game. And yet, for the full 25 minutes in, I never seen you use it once.
Yep.
So
I'm really bad about remembering about
yeah,
actives.
yeah, actives are important because you're buying the item for a certain reason. Now, when you're talking about Zanyas, the value of Zanyas goes down when you don't use it.
Yep.
So might as well here is that you could have built a Rabidance because you never used Zanyas anyway. You know what I mean? So that's why. All right, so we're gonna skim through this one, yeah, and then of course I want to talk about what happened at mid lane here. All right, so we're gonna skim through this one. So here, all right, you dodged it, you walked around it. All right, now I want to talk about this one as well. All right, what do you see here? What do you see here?
Very low Braum.
No, not just the low
Okay.
problem, okay? Because you don't know where their teammates are.
No
What do you
vision.
see? Well, no. What do you see here? What do you see here?
She's overextended. Charm.
And Charm, what did you do?
I queued instead.
You queued instead. You see how you're missing these moments of a perfect kill? Because the moment you if you landed a Charm, Lux gonna follow up with a Binding and
Her ultimate as well.
her ultimate as well, and would she be dead?
Then more than likely, yes.
More than likely, yes. But
And if
then-
not, I have Qs, or I would have had a Q and a W as well. Or possibly.
Alright, now, that's why here, I want to talk about this one, is that, this is why I want to talk about a little bit with this one. Alright, so we're going to look at it again. What do you see? An open Jinx. Now, if you threw the Charm, and of course she got blown up, now think about it. Do you think Lux would have died there?
No.
No, because once you remove a target, both
We can
teams will back
off.
off. You back off and she back. But you see how when you miss an opportunity, Lux has to commit just to get her? And of course it gets her caught, yes, because Lux saw an opportunity, but you didn't follow. So yeah, that's why. Alright, so here you're gonna ulti away. Alright, so now you threw a charm. And you threw a flash.
Yeah, this was really, really bad. But
Alright, so you got the... Alright, so he dies, but then who gets punished?
I do.
You do, alright? So we're gonna imagine this one. Alright, so we're gonna skim through this one. Now, let's just try to remember. Do you think Jinx would be there for that fight? Of course not. Do you think you would have sacrificed your life? Of course not. So
No.
that's why I want you I want to talk to you about when looking for openings, alright? This is the first thing, this is the first step. Alright, so we're gonna... Yeah, in here, alright, so you're gonna die here and you get punished because of overcommitting.
Yep.
Overcommitted. So we're gonna skim through this one. Alright, so we're gonna take a look. Alright, so Windwalled. Alright, so your team got a... Alright, so let's talk about this one as well. Alright, so we know that Yorick was alone, and he's overextending. He's overextending, he's over pushing. Alright, so we're gonna look at this one. Alright, so that's an easy kill right here. Now, when we're talking about throwing a charm here, that's why I wanted to talk about. Maybe you should have dashed 2 times before throwing a charm.
Yeah.
when you're super close like that. So it guarantees you hitting the person. Because something like this one where you missed the charm, he could have actually gotten away. Maybe, just you just don't know.
Hmm.
That's why it's very important to hit these charms. Alright, so we're gonna skim through it. Alright, so Nass is killed. Alright, so we're gonna take a look at this one. There's no vision. He's very low, but you don't want to be greedy because he's going for Arg of War. Alright, so that's a nice charm, but where's the team? Alright, so we're gonna skim through this one. Alright, so let's talk about this one again. Alright, we're gonna take a look at your spells. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, what do you see?
Overextended Jinx.
And is your charm up?
It is.
It is. And you see how you charm so late?
Hmm.
See? Now, this is why I want to talk to you about landing your thing. So at least we broke that down. Alright, so we're gonna skim through this one. Wait, what happened here? Did you guys surrender or something?
I think they did, yeah. They all decided it was time
Okay.
to surrender.
Okay, so oops. Replay broke. Okay. So I want to talk about, okay, before we end the game right here, I want to talk about this one is we're gonna skim through this one. Minion spawn. Alright, so first thing we learned is what?
Mana conservation.
Mana management. You want to learn to conserve your mana. Alright, we're gonna skip things up a little bit here. Once we're like level 6 here. Now what did we learn from this one as well?
Go back when you need to.
Go back when you need to. Of course, when there's a cannon minion there, you don't want to miss that.
Hmm.
Alright, but if you're way too low, you have to do the right thing and go back. So that's the second thing I want you to be focusing. And of course, what's the third thing I want you to learn when facing a Yasuo?
Um,
Bait the
Bait
wind
the
shield,
wind wall. That's right.
bait the wind wall, and also make sure you always pop his shield.
Hmm.
All right, so that's the first thing I want. I mean, that's the first thing against the Yasuo that I want you to try to do. So those are the top three things I want you to do, and of course, the fourth one is looking for opportunities
Look for the opportunities.
to
Yep.
to charm, to catch opponent. And remember, you don't always have to initiate with a Q. You can also get them with a charm.
Hmm.
And of course, fifth, when it comes to mid lane, you have to do your best to dodge
Skill shots.
skill shots. If your opponent can dodge skill shots, I'm pretty sure you can too.
Okay.
Alright? So those are the top 5 things. And before we end it, I want to talk about runes and masteries, alright?
Hmm.
So we're gonna whoops. Alright, so we're gonna take a look at this one. Alright, so as you can see my screen, let me log in for a bit. Um, let me log in. Alright. Alright, so let's take a look at rune pages. This is the very important part. So, runes and masteries. There's 2 rune pages that you use, which is currently CDR, correct? This one, where you get magic pen reds, health per level, seals, cooldown reduction, uh, blues, and of course ability power quints, right?
Yep.
And of course, the other one is you replace the seals with armor, correct?
Yep.
Against okay, so that's completely fine. Okay, so let's talk about this one. Greater glyph of skilling cooldown reduction. So you have 15% cooldown reduction at level 18.
18.
So follow up by Morello's, which is 20%, so that's 35.
35.
Now you get Cirque shoes. Now the biggest problem here is that majority of the time I have 2 rune pages. This one is AP scaling per level. So instead of 15% cooldown reduction level 18, I get 28 ability power level 18. But the problem with this one is I don't go sorcerer shoes, I go for cooldown reduction boots.
Hmm.
The greatest thing about cooldown reduction boots that I love is that it doesn't lower your it doesn't reduce your cooldown by 10% as well. Is that it reduces your summoner spells by 10%.
Yep.
So that's a very important thing. But I'm pretty sure I want you to always stick with this one. This is very important. Your build was correct, was right, but the biggest problem is that you haven't been using your
Zonia's.
Zonias. That's the only thing there. The full game, not even one Zonia.
Mm-hmm.
So you lost its value. So
Yeah.
I want to talk about this one. We're gonna add here. All right. So if you want to take a look here, all right. So when of course the starting items is going to be Dorans as well. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
want your Dorans. Can we move it here? All right. So these are your core items on Ahri. For example, if you are ahead, we're gonna talk if you are ahead and there's no threats mid lane. This is your basic build, uh, which is Morello's, of course. Morello's gonna be it. Sorc shoes or cooldown boots, depending. But of course, you want to get sorcerer shoes for that 15 magic pen. And if you are ahead of your opponent, you get Luden Secco
Okay.
third. Luden Secco third. Now, if they start building magic resistance, of course you want to get Void
Void
Staff.
staff.
Now, and of course, this is a must item, especially when Ahri, when you're committing Zonias because of
The
the
active.
active. Now we're going to talk about this one. These are vice versa, depending. If your opponents are not building magic resist, then just build Zonias. But if your opponents are super weak and they're not targeting you, of course go for.
Rabidons.
So these three items are very optional, but we're talking about if you're super ahead. All right.
Okay.
So let's talk about facing a mid lane matchup, facing an AP bully. Imagine if you're facing Syndra, you're facing Victor, you're facing Azir.
Mm-hmm.
Our items are going to be completely different. Your
Different.
first item, of course, if you're being bullied, okay, so the first item can also be
Be-
Morello's. This is optional. This can be the first item or second item,
Mm-hmm.
depending. Your first item, if you're facing an AP bully, your first item is going to be
The scepter. Yeah,
the
that thing.
scepter. The scepter always first, and of course you want to build your. Yeah, okay. You don't always have to complete your boots first. You can get the tier 1 boots and actually finish Morello's. The boots always have to be completed important as the third item, though. First,
Mm-hmm.
second, or third. Second or third item, not first, second, third item. All right. So after that, this can be your this is your core build, and after that, you can go for these three items. Now, the biggest problem is that if you're facing someone Aegis, Abyssal is fine. But if you're facing an opponent who is super tanky and who is super frontline, such as Nautilus, Trundle, and if they're building super magic resist, you have to build a Void Staff. But it's really bad to put Void Staff and Abyssal Scepter together is because, according to the wiki, the flat magic pen comes first before magic percentage.
Okay.
So the value of Void Staff goes down, but only build Void Staff if you need to. So if facing that, you're facing an AP bully. You want to go these three items first, and then you want to build these three items last. No
Okay.
more loot in Secco. And of course, your other item is if you're facing against AD mid laners, you know you want to go for Seekers, and then your Sorc boots. Your Sorc boots like your random build there. It's okay to buy one or two Dorans as you go back. All right, because it's fine. It makes you tanky and gives you 15 plus ability power when you
Mm-hmm.
build another Dorans. But all right, so when we're talking about these two items, the Zonias is not important unless needed. All
All
right,
right.
it's because you built this item first and you built Zonias, but you never used it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're facing an 80 bully and you're winning, of course you want to go for this again. Oh my God! I'm so sorry. Okay, a little bit wrong with this build. Imagine if you're super ahead. When you're super ahead, this is completely fine. If you're placing an AP bully or an 80 bully, I forgot about this item. That's a very important item to Ari as well. Uh, okay, so we're just gonna put that there. Void staff. Rabidons, and your very last item, Rylai's.
Yes, Rylai's.
Rylai's.
Mm-hmm.
I love Rylai's. Rylai's can also be put for the AP Bully as well, or you can try, if you don't want Luden's Echo, you can just trade it in for Rylai's.
Okay.
The slow is great. The 400 HP is great. And of course, the 100 ability power.
Mm-hmm.
So, the one thing I love about Luden's Echo, it gives movement speed. It means more roaming. But the greatest thing about Rise is that 40% slow reduction.
They're
You
not
know,
gonna get away from me.
they're literally not gonna get away from you. So, that's why I wanted to see. And of course, I want to state out, remember the 5 rules. Okay. Okay. What are the 5 things I told you in lane? Mana.
The mana,
Mm hmm.
uh, what beta is wind wall,
Mm hmm.
and then there was
That.
capitalize on charms back when you need to.
Mm hmm. And one more thing,
I'm missing it. What is it?
opportunities.
Opportunities.
Opportunities. That should be one of the most important thing. When you see something, go for it. And remember, don't tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
Never tunnel vision. All right?
All right.
All right, but this may be our, final coaching session. I'm very sorry I can only review one. We've been on Skype for we've been coaching for yeah, for about 70, almost 75 minutes. But hey, this is over. Not this week, starting next week. If I have an open coaching session and you see it open, go grab and take it. I want to see more replays because there was a lot of other mistakes that I want to tell you about, but I don't want to fill your mind because it's best if you learn why I told you right now. And
Yeah,
yeah, and then, we can't be good in one day. You know what I mean? We
I know what you're
grow.
saying. Yeah,
So yeah.
it took me like 6 months to get good with Lucian. I know what you're talking about.
But yeah,
So,
but hi Bryce, thank you so much for requesting me to coach you. But not just have it like free coaching as well. If you can rate me on the website with an honest review.
of course,
All right, but thank you so much, Bryce, and hopefully I see more awesome plays. All right,
plan on it.
all right. Well, you take care, bro.
All right.
All right,
Goodbye.
later.